मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्.
Yes. So to start with this eightfold Prakriti, right?
We have to start from eightfold Prakriti. The
Yeah,
eightfold
eightfold
Prakriti.
So now that he has described and all the arguments between Kshetra, both Kshetra and Kshetrajna with reference to the individual, he has clarified. Because that is where the major confusion is. All of us know outside our body everything is Kshetra, that will be easier to accept, even in the normal people as well as in the argumentative people. But that our body is Kshetra, that people are not accepting, which there is an elaborate Purva Moksha Siddhanta discussion which is now completed. Now he is going to explain about the Prakriti, meaning basically normally what we say the world, Jagat. Outside, I am the one who is experiencing the Jagat, so that he is going to explain. That is fairly easier. Now let us go to that. Yeah.
Mahabhutanyahangkaro buddhiravyaktamev cha indriyani dasaikam cha panchachendriya gochara.
Pancha Chendriya Gocharaha. Pancha cha Indriya Gocharaha becomes Pancha Chendriya Gocharaha.
Mahabhutani, the five subtle elements, Ahankaraha, Hiranyagarbha, Buddhi, Mahat Tattva, Samasti Buddhi, Avyaktam, unmanifest cause, Maya, Evacha, and indeed, Indriyani Dasa, the 10 organs, Ekam Cha, and one mind, Panchacha Indriya Gocharaha, and the
Actually,
five sense objects.
This will be very, these terminologies and all will be very familiar. You get familiar with if we do the Tattva Bodha.
Yeah. I think your video is gone.
Video, freeze.
Frozen. Swamiji's video is frozen.
Yeah, their internet is little
Slow,
freezed.
Freeze.
Yeah, now they are available.
So, Tattva Bodha book you have got it, no?
Yes, Swamiji. I'm reading.
So you have to go through that.
Yes,
that will make you familiar with. Anyway, here also you explain, but as you study, it will be more familiar. Yeah. Yes.
Icha dvesha sukham dukkam sangata sam chetana
Sangataha Chetana Dhriti.
Chetana
Sangatas Chetana Dhriti.
Dhriti. Etat kshetram samasena savikara mudakritam.
So he says Samasena, meaning briefly. I'm going to explain briefly. So if you want extensively, you have to go to Tattva Bodha. That is how it is. Yeah.
Icha, desire. Dveshaha, aversion. Sukham, pleasure. Dukkam, pain. Sangataha, the physical body. Chetana, cognition. Dhritihi, fortitude. Etat chetram, all this is chetra. Samasena, briefly. Savikaram, along with its modifications. Uddahritam is stated. Udahritam stated. The five subtle elements, the Hiranyagarbha, the Samasti Buddhi, the unmanifest cause Maya, the 10 organs and one mind, five sense objects, desire, aversion, pleasure, pain, the physical body, cognition, fortitude, all this is Chetra, which is stated briefly along with its modifications. The five five Jnanendriyas and five Karmendriyas put together make 10. The five Jnanendriyas are Shrotra, the ears, Chakshu, eyes, Tvak, the sense of touch, Rasana, the sense of taste, and grana, the sense of smell. The 5 karmendriyas are vak, the organ of speech, pani, the hands, pada, the feet, payu, organ of excretion, and upastha, the organ of reproduction. These two verses together define the kshetra. Earlier in the 7th chapter, Bhagavan had said that his prakriti was eightfold. Now he enumerates them first when he defines kshetra, the 5 subtle elements Mahabhutani, the Ahankara, the Buddhi and Avyakta together form the eightfold Prakriti, Ashtada Binna Prakriti. The Sukshma Mahabhutas, Mahabhutani, here we understand that he refers to the subtle elements, Sukshma Mahabhutas, those that have not undergone the process of Panchikarna, because
See, I will explain briefly. See, what is when in the Lalita Sahasranama it comes as what you call Pancha Tanmatra Sayakaha. The Tanmatra and Panchikarana, both the difference is there is an element called Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, 5 elements. In Tanmatra, they will not be available for transaction. It's very Ati Sukshma. They become available for transaction only when they get Panchikaran, in the sense they get mixed up. How you know? For example, Akasha, when we see an early morning sun through a creek in our window, so a light beam will come. In that, you will see, even though what you see is, if you don't, without that light beam, what you will see is only space in your room. Whereas if the light beam comes through that space, in that beam you can see a lot of particles. That is what it has got Vayu, it has got gases, it has got minerals, there is earth, and it has got a little bit of moisture, everything is there in that. Because of all those things are that being there, you are able to perceive space with your eyes. So, what space which you see is not the space Tanmatra, it is a Panchikruta Mahabhutani. It is one of the Panchik, that is Panchikaranam, what Prabhupada says is 1/2 of space and 4 quarters of the other elements. That Kasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, which I am explaining, just an example. But see, it's a model. Again, the whole thing is a model. A model in the sense for you to transact, for you to deal with. You need a name and you have to need an explanation and all that. That Shastra is doing it. Like science does it differently. All this empirical reality is all for transaction purpose. It is like that. Every time a streak of light comes into the room through a hole, you will see this. That means it is reproducing. So it is stable, it is predictable, it is empirical, all these things. But exactly what is happening, we really don't know. Because Srishti is only a prakriya, a model to explain for us. First we want to do, you see certain stimuli, you see, then you give it a name, and since everyone agrees to the name, this is called space, everyone says space. This is called air, everyone says air. Nobody in that space does not come and tell you that I am space, and I am air and all that. It's all our own. Human intellect has given all these names and are commonly agreed, like your nomenclature in all subjects. No, in chemistry, physics and all, this is called nomenclature. This is how, let this element be called lithium. So it is called lithium. That's it. So that is how all this nomenclature, that is why Nama. It is just given a name, that's all. And we transact with it. But there is only a model. That is only a Srishti Prakriya, meaning a model. This is how we transact. That is how it is. That is what is being explained now. So what he says is, what is commonly understood, Kshetra, the field of activity, the field of transaction life outside our body, all this is being explained. Somebody will say 20 elements, somebody will say something, they will add something, all the entire mind will be divided into Ahankara, Chittam, memory, all those things, like that. It's all our own way of defining And since that's why it is called Paribhasha, Vedanta Paribhasha, Shastra Paribhasha, meaning technical language. So we have to be familiar with this, because throughout we will be discussing this in the same fashion. So for us to know all these things, these are all being put together now. Yeah.
Mahabhutani, here we understand that he refers to the subtle elements. Sukshma Bhuta Mahabhutas, those that have not undergone the process of Panchikarana, because later he mentions the gross elements. Sthula Mahabhutas as objects of the sense organs, Pancha Indriya Gocharas. The adjective
Gochara meaning you are able to see. Like I said, you are able to see, it is called Gochara. Otherwise, it is called Agochara. You, Atma is Agochara, because it's not, you are not able to see that. So this is Gochara, this high space you are able to see, air you are able to see, like that. Yeah. See, in the sense you feel, you can differentiate between air and space. You can easily differentiate. That, to that extent you are able to understand, that is called Gochara. Yeah.
The adjective Mahat is used because the creation is nothing but these elements, and in this way they are all pervasive. Further, being the subtle elements, they are the cause for the gross element. So, the adjective Mahat is used to indicate the status as cause, Karana, for everything that is going to come. Ahankara here does not refer to the individual ego, the sense of doership, but to the samasti ahankara.
Samashti ahankara.
Samasti
Total.
ahankara.
Samashti means total. Total
Total,
ahankara.
samashti.
Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha. Because the creation is going to come now, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, Brahmaji himself is called Ahankara here. This Ahankara is said to be the cause for the 5 Mahabhutas and is of the nature, the I sense, Aham Pratyaya Lakshana, at the cosmic level. Swamiji, what is this Hiranyagarbha here?
Huh?
Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha is basically Brahmaji. It's actually the gross elements that, since he has the gross elements with him, and from there the subtle elements will come. From the subtle elements the body will come. Like for example, you can say like Antakarana has got this ego at the individual level, and Hiranyagarbha at total level means chest, lungs, stomach, intestines, abdomen, genitals, Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Pastani, Prana, Apana, Vyanas, Samana, Brahmanaha, then and Yukti, then excretion, production, digestion. See, all these are activities. That is all subtle activities. They are all happening within the body. Without our knowledge, 24 hours, 365 days. He is called Samashti Hiranyagarbha. These things are all happening not because you want it. It's all happening. It's all purely phenomenal. That he is the Adhipati. Because of him, Hiranyagarbha, the Brahmaji, all these things are happening. So, Tejomaya Antakarana Vrittihi. Tejomaya, by Tejomaya means total knowledge. The knowledge of all this functioning is, in terms of a single body or total samashti, is handled by Ishvara, is given the name Hiranyagarbha with reference to that. That's all. It's all nomenclature. Hiranyagarbha is Brahmaji or Srishtikarta, like that. Then Ishvara is what you call the sense Abhyakrita. Even before this, even before Hiranyagarbha comes to being, Abhyakrita is unmanifest totally. Ishvara is called unmanifest. Once it becomes manifest, first it becomes Hiranyagarbha, then it becomes Panchikaranam, then all the elements are born, all Panchabhuta are born outside, and inside all this, as I was saying, chest, lungs, stomach, intestine, all those things are born. So, it's all different, like what we say, no? Trimurti, Brahmaji creates, Vishnu sustains, it's are all only nomenclature. Here in the Shastra, there is something called Ishvara, what do you call Ishvara, and then the individual, then Hiranyagarbha, Taijasa, that is the internal person who is available for us as a dream person. The Jyoti, when we are dreaming, who is the person? Our own person is available as Jyoti. That's called Taijasa. Tejomaya Antakarna Vritti is called Taijasa. Equivalent the Samashti is Hiranyagarbha. Likewise in Virat and Vishwam. Vishwam is Jagat and Virat Purusha is cosmic. So in the gross elements. So gross elements Virat Vishwam, that is transactable, all these things. And subtle elements are called Hiranyagarbha and Taijasa. And Tamasa is our own sleep. What we call it as Pragya and Ishvara. Ishvara means just Tamasa is inert, like all our hands and legs and all that. They're all just purely Jadam. Hands and legs operate only when the Hiranyagarbha, that is all this our Antakarna operates. And Antakarna operates only when the Virat and Vishwam operate. Like that. So it's all nomenclature divided as our life is divided. The entire Kshetra is divided into gross, subtle, and further gross, like tamas, only limbs and all that. So that is how it is explained. This is all a model, but the whole thing together is one Chaitanya. The Chaitanya meaning conscious being, which is all Shakti. You can say how this is Maya Shakti. Yeah. In the sense it's not available for your understanding. So Yama Samaya. But it is there. The effect of it only we are seeing. Our own life, we are only seeing the effect of it. So because the effect is so intelligent, we think that there should be an intelligent cause. It cannot happen just like that. God doesn't play dice. Doesn't happen. Akasmat doesn't happen. Every body functions. Every human body functions in a very. So that is why what is applicable to one body is applicable to another body. A medicine that works on one body works on another body. Because there is some niyati, the order. The order of orders is called Ishvara. And when it comes to the creation being born, it's called Hiranyagarbha. Like that. It's all nomenclature. Hiranyagarbha is Brahmaji, basically. And Kara is the individual. Because of you only, since you identify yourself as I, the being, then because of that, you as an individual start functioning relative to the world as an individual. Actually, there is no individual. It is purely your own way of looking at it. And the equivalent of it is Samashti is Hiranyagarbha. That's what he is explaining. Yeah. Beyond that, there is no explanation. It's purely, what do you call it? It is only a nomenclature, and this is how it is. This is how we see the world functioning. So for that, Vedas have created a model and put it. These are the names, this is how it is. That is how it is. And science comes out with, because science also says various elements are there. There are forces, centrifugal forces, centrifugal, magnetic, somebody will say magnetic, somebody will say electric. All those are nomenclature, different fields of, because everything is available. It all depends on it. If you want to look at it as a particle, there will be a particle physics going on. If you want to look at it as a wave, there will be a wave mechanics, spectrophotometry going on. So the people, it is available for you to study the way in which you want. That is why it's Maya. You cannot put a finger on it. It is available as it is Chaitanya Swavam, it is Chaitanyam, so you cannot fathom it. You can only see the effect of it. And you can keep on counting. And keep endlessly, but it is no end to it. Because it is dynamic and there is no, what is the beauty of it is, the reality of it is what? Desa Kala Vastu Aparichita. It doesn't have time limit. It is not born in time, it is not born in space, it does not even have an object, it is only a being. However, you cannot so empirically you cannot do it. But science keeps doing because they are not in the realm of Vedanta study or something. They are stopping at the level of empirical. Before anything, and it is measurable. It is, you get what you measure, they say, no. It is measurable. Measurable is up to a point. So they come up to a point and say, maybe it was one particle, and leave it at that. And they further keep checking till they find out a God particle. Which I don't think it is ever going to happen. But they will keep continuing because it is available for measurement. Sense? It is so very organized. The order of what of the niyati of Chaitanyam is so very profound. It is available. Endless. Zero or infinity. Maya. It's called Maya. Yama Samaya. That is how it is. That is the reality. So Maya is not to be. Maya is understanding actually. There is nothing called Maya. Maya is understanding the reality of yourself. If you understand it, you will say there is nothing tangible out there, but it is. You cannot measure it, but it is. So that is the intelligent way of understanding. That is what is called Maya. It's not that Maya sitting and creating something. No. It's available for transaction, and the reality of it is you. And what is the sambandha? Adhyasena sambandha. Meaning, as though sambandha. That's called that. That is how it is. Yeah.
Mr. Kumar, we are in the Samasti Buddhi Mahat
Sixth,
Tattva.
verse
Samashti,
6.
Samashti Buddhi Mahat Tattva. Yeah.
Sloka 6. Sloka 6.
Sloka, verse 6. The cause of this ahankara is the buddhi, the mahat tattva. Here again, the word buddhi does not refer to the individual buddhi, but to the samasti buddhi,
Samashti.
samashti
Samashti.
buddhi,
Yeah.
also called mahat tattva. The srishti is always said to occur the following manner in the Shruti. It is said first, there was a sankalpa on the part of Ishvara, so Kamayata Bahushyam
So,
Praje
that is the second
Prajaye.
chapter of Taittiriya Upanishad.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of people who do the Taittiriya chanting, these are all regularly being chanted by all the Vedika Pandits and all. So, Kamayata Bahushyam Prajayeti Satapo Dapyata Satapas Tapswa. As if Bhavan is sitting there and planning and scheming and all that. It's all mentioned. Poetically, it's all mentioned. For us to have some prakriya, no, we should have as a srishti. That's why it's good. So kamayata bahusyam prajaye, meaning bahu means many. Let lot of people be there. So entire souls, they are all waiting for birth. Let them all be born. And Bhavan, how he got it? So kamayata niswasitam eva, meaning as if like our breathing. For breathing, we don't make an effort. In the same way, he said, so kamayata, everything was simultaneously born. It's not one after the other, like Big Bang and all that. Well, simultaneously, all the Jantus who are waiting for a birth, they all got born. That's all. So why are they waiting? Because of the karma. Why the karma? Because when they were there, they did karma. Before that, what was the same thing happened. So it is a perennial. That is why it's anadi, pravaha nityatvam. Because you can't say when it is anadi, if you say, there is an adi and antam for the individual. But as far as the total is concerned, it's anadi. It is continuously. And that is why precisely it is maya. You say anadi, the cause and effect, there should be a cause and effect, like between seed and tree, there should be a cause and effect. Between seed and tree, there is a cause and effect. But when was the first seed born? Nobody knows. So that is why it's called anadi. When it means anadi, that means what? Seed depends on tree, tree depends on, both are mutually dependent, that means both are mithya. So anadi maya suptaha, meaning it's all maya. Maya meaning it is just your own, as which I have been generally explained, is anuronaniyan mahato mahiya. The being, when it explodes, it will be like this only, the jagat. Like even you are able to say, when the hydrogen explodes, it will become too big. Actually compared to atom, compared to nucleus, compared to hydrogen, it's all going smaller and smaller. And whenever it becomes smaller and smaller, the explosion is bigger and bigger. And the same logic when you apply, the awareness being when it explodes, what you get is bigger. This is what it is. But it is so very, we cannot, what do you call, empirically we cannot connect. Unlike your hydrogen exploding to so many matter and saying atom exploding into so much matter and energy. Here you can't empirically put it because it is empirically it is not available, because the being itself, the source itself is not available for measurement. So naturally it is not available for science. But you can easily see the effect. What you are seeing the effect is so kamayata bahusyam prajayeti. So you can, your understanding of the aporoksha anubhuti swarum, your own self-evident self, Swamiji talks about at the top, self-evident, the being, when it explodes, effect we are seeing, Jagat, multifarious, when all connected, various order of order, physical order, chemical order, psychological order, medical order, everything there's an order, everything there's a connection. So connection means what? Intelligently put together. Swami used to say intelligently put together. Meaning there is a creation, but you can't fathom the origin of it. That is because the origin is you. And what is the connection? Maya. So that is it. It's not that Maya is sitting and creating and Ishvara is having Maya in hand and doing something. No. It's how it is explained. It is explainable and it fits into our understanding of the world. And our own reality, we don't have to ask anybody else. Our own reality right now, when we are discussing, we know. I am not the ahankara, everything I am able to see. Buddhi, I am able to see everything tangible, particle or subtle or psychology, everything I am able to, emotion, everything I am able to see. That being is not having just timeless, spaceless, and it's just a being, not even a vastu. You cannot say it is sitting in the heart, innermost pressings of the heart and all that. You can't say. Because innermost pressings of the heart also you are able to see what is happening. So it's not an object. So that is why it is so powerful. The Chaitanya, the being, the awareness, the Aham, Brahmasmi, whatever you call it, Brahmatma, Brahman, Ishvara, all these are the settlers and the settlers, Anarmaniyan, Mahatomaniyan, the being. That the being, when it explodes, you get the Jagat. And that Jagat is being explained as Kshetra. Kshetrajna with reference to individual is a being. Kshetrajna with reference to Samashti is again the same being. Because that the being cannot be different. Because then it becomes two. Then one who is superior, when there is not even a Vastu, how can you say being cannot be two? Being can be only one. Cannot be a timeless, spaceless being, two beings. It's not. So our own understanding, it makes it very clear that if we understand it this way, our identity, Vishwara is same. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma, whatever. All the Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi, even here also Tattvamasi is explained. Now, Hasi part is explaining. So finally, what is he going to say? Kshetra is Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna alone from Kshetra has come. From Purusha alone, Prakriti has come. So like that. So there is no second, only Purusha or Kshetrajna, whatever you call it. But for our understanding, what we confront, he is explaining now. The Samashti, Ishvara is explaining. The Samashti, what do you call the world, he is explaining. Yeah.
I will read it. I will read.
Read.
The Samasti Buddhi Mahat
Samashti,
Tattva.
that the S and T you have to put strong. Samashti Buddhi. Yeah.
Samashti Buddhi.
Yeah.
Samashti Buddhi Mahat Tattva. The cause of this Ahankara is the Buddhi, the Mahat Tattva. Here again, the word Buddhi does not refer to the individual Buddhi, but to the Samasti Buddhi. Samasti Buddhi. Also called
Samashti. Ishtam, we say, no?
Oh, Samashti. Samashti.
Yeah, Samashti. Ishtam. Ishtam, there is something called Ishtam Pratyaya. Ishtam Pratyaya is always ultimate. So, Samashti, you can say that, yeah.
Samashti Upanayana, like that.
Something like that. Samashti Buddhi. Total, yeah.
Total.
Yeah. Also called Buddhi does not refer to the individual Buddhi. But to the Samasti Buddhi, also called the Mahat Tattva. The Srishti is always said to occur in the following manner in the Shruti. Then the footnote is there, the 5 Jnanendriyas and the 5 Karmendriyas.
அது முன்னாடி
That is over. That is the previous page. Okay, doesn't matter. It's the previous page. Actually, the 34 belongs to the Samashti Buddhi that was explained in the sloka. That we have already read it. 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, etc. Total. What are all the elements? Fine. You read further.
It is said first there. There was the Sankalpa on the part of Ishvara, so Kamayata, Bahushyam Prajayeta. He desired.
Yeah. He said, no, in Kaishriya, Kumar, you must have heard this chanting. So Kamayata, Bahushyam Prajayeti. That is how it is. From there only
So Kamayata, Bahushyam Prajayeti. Prajayeti. Swaram is there, no? I chant.
It's not a song, it's a chant.
No, this is Bhruguvalli, I think. Bhriguvalli.
Yeah, correct. So, I think it's Ananda 2.6.1.
Ananda. Oh, okay. 2 point is Ananda. Okay.
It is maybe in the second chapter. That means Anandavati.
Anandavati.
Yes.
Let me become many. It is said, let me become money. Money.
That's the meaning. That is the meaning of it. Bhagavan took a sankalpa saying that let me become many. That is the meaning of that sloka. Yeah.
Then he brought to his attention all the knowledge that is required for this creation. Satapotapyata.
Yeah.
After bringing the knowledge to his attention, created all this. So, Satapastapyat. I will read it. Satapastaptva idam sarvam ashriyet. Asrijata
meaning, say Satapo Tapyata, then he he did tapas. Meaning what? He thought about it. So, having done that, the Satapas Taptua, meaning it is a present participle. Having thought like that, having done the sankalpa and having done the tapas, now idam sarvam asrijata. Asrijata meaning he created. Srijanam means Srishti, creation. Srijanam is something like sewing. Now, in English also the word sewing and Srijanam was almost similar. So, Srijata, you are putting together, idam sarvam asrijata, the entire creation was put together. That is the meaning of the whole creation sentence, sloka, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, second chapter, 2.6.1. Yeah.
Tatapastapva idam sarvam asrijata. This same sankalpa of Ishvara is said as Tadais. I will read it. Tadaiksata and Chandogya
Chandogya Upanishad, the Srishti Prakriya is defined, is saying that Tad Aikshata. Aikshata meaning, like as I was telling, he saw and the whole creation was formed. Here, he thought about it, the whole creation was formed. In Taittiriya Upanishad. That Aikshata meaning he saw. Ikshanam means I see with the chakshus. He saw, opened his eyes, everything was. That's why, the Bhagavan should not open his eyes, close the eyes. The Murti also we say, Prayam will come, etc., all those things. From these things only, people project all those things. Yeah.
Before the creation, everything was unmanifest. Avyakrita.
Vyakrita meaning expansion. Vyakarana, grammar. Vyakarana means what? Expansion. Vyakrita means expansion. Avyakrita means unmanifest. In an unexpanded form, undifferentiated form. In actually what we say is differentiated and undifferentiated. That is a gross, very subtle is the undifferentiated, it becomes gross differentiated.
For the creation to manifest itself, there should be a starting point. And that starting point is this sankalpa, which is due to this samashti buddhi. The question that arises here is, why should it all start? It could have remained so. That is, as avyakrita, unmanifest. Avyakrita, unmanifest. Then this manifest world, as we see it, would have not been there. And all the problems of this world and the individual jiva would have not been there. There is answer to this question. That is how individual jiva would have not been there. There is the answer to this question. That is how things are. We cannot ask Ishvara as to why he woke up from his sleep. Nirvikalpa avastha, in which the creation was unmanifest. Why talk about Ishvara? We can never say why we wake up from our sleep on any given day.
See, for example, if you ask why Ishvara woke up, people may ask us also, why are you waking up? If you ever slept, you also will not have problem, I also will not have problem. Why you are waking up? Actually, nobody knows how individual wakes up. At least in dream we can understand because of a nightmare, the dream we woke up. But total deep sleep, what makes somebody to get up from deep sleep? It's a big mystery. You really don't know. That is how we know that the Chaitanyam, the conscious being, is there. How do we know in sleep? Because we get up. The answer is because we get up. Something is there, it makes me get up. And which is not bound by time, which is not bound by space, it is not an object. Because in deep sleep, everything is shut totally. Anything you can call tangible in your body is all shut. And in spite of that, you get up. How? That is Chaitanya. That is the one proof. And of course, another thing is, as you get up, you say that I had a good sleep. That means you were there, sleep also. That who was there? That Chaitanya, the being. That is how it is talked about. Yeah.
Swamiji, when we want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah, there is auto-suggestion.
automatically we wake up at 4 o'clock.
That means what? There is a Chaitanya that operates from your auto-suggestion in the night, that you want to get up at 4 o'clock, that other goes into the memory and stays there. And that memory is activated at the right time in the next day morning. But who does that? The Chaitanya, the Atma. It's the beauty of it. Okay, say, no, I had a memory. Memory has also gone to sleep. No. Somebody has to awaken the memory. Who does that? Chaitanya. The being. That's the beauty. It's all very sukshma, it's all available. It's all, if we are honest to ourselves, it's not difficult to understand. But we don't want to be honest to ourselves. We want to carry on. At the same time, understand all this theoretically and enjoy. Because we have to drop a lot of baggage once we understand Chaitanya is the reality, everything else is Nitya. We have to drop a lot of baggage. Which, baat mein karenge. Time hai. What is that? Like that. Yeah.
Swamiji, the whole world sleeps. It means the Chaitanya works with everything.
Yeah, of course. Why the whole world? One half of, actually the reality, unfortunately, we think reality is the waking. But reality is equally in dream and waking throughout the world. One half of the world is always sleeping. And things are happening there. So, but you don't count that. You think that only waking world is reality. That is where all our problems. Because the reality is there in both waking as well as sleep as well as the dream. Once we understand what is common in all these three is only Chaitanya. And in the half of the world when it is sleeping, still things are happening. Trees are there, booming, flowers are booming, fruits are falling, and you are on inside all the people who are sleeping, body is functioning, excretion, sweating, everything, the body is kept sustained. One half of the earth is getting sustained by only Chaitanya, not by you and me, not by nuclear force, not by your Trump or somebody. One half of the creation is sustained only by Chaitanya in sleep. That is very tangible. And we think what is in the waking only is tangible. And we only make a mess of it. In waking, we make a mess of it, which Bhagavan takes care of in the night. Anyway, yeah.
Some planets, it's always day. Venus has 164 days, day only.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. It's all very obvious. We have to, that is why Bhagavad Avasthatraya Prakriya is a very important Prakriya. If you look at you don't have to look for examples elsewhere. You look at your own life, waking, sleep, dream, and find out what is the commonality between the Samanya, between the three. So only Chaitanya. Everything else is changing. What is available in waking is not available in dream. What is unavailable in dream is not available in waking. And in sleep, both of them are not available. But still you are there. So that is the only reality. Everything else is changing. You appropriately act. That's all. The changing world changes. You do whatever you are supposed to do. To that extent you understand. Wherever you are, whatever stages in life you are, to that extent you can understand. To that extent you can. Nimitta matra. Do what you are supposed to do. You know what you are supposed to do. Don't give excuses. That's what he says. Continuously, there's a rhyme throughout Gita. Yeah.
Swamiji, the waking stage is for doing karma, And the sleeping stage is sleep, rest. And
Rest.
dream state,
Rest.
sleeping is rest.
But rest is what? But who makes you be there in that rest? Your own antakarana, body, emotion, everything is gone. Deep sleep especially, and still you get up next day, it's a miracle. Who makes that possible? Chaitanya. That is what is the reality we are talking about. What is happening in sleep, rest is there, and it's all Bhagavan. And when we go to Bhagavan, how Bhagavan has programmed it that way that everybody has to get 6 hours sleep. Without sleep, people would have become mad. So all those things are there. That Bhagavan, what is the reality of that Bhagavan? Finally, if you look at it, that is what Kshetrajna it will come to. Again, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinna, the being. That he is also the being, I am also the being. That means I am Ishvara. That understanding, that shakes up people. We don't want to postpone that. No. Let Ishvara be there, let me be there. Dasa, Dasi. I will keep on offering flowers. Let him keep on giving me candies. That's all. We are happy with that. Yeah.
Swamiji, my question is, I continue the question. Sleep state is only to take rest and do the karma to be awake and do the karma the next day or something.
Yeah.
But what about the dream state is insignificant, I feel. Dream state.
Dream state is not insignificant. Some of your prarabdha gets lost in dream state of fear. Suddenly you see a snake in the sweat, and because of the sweating you get up. So the experience what you get in dream is real for the dreamer. You may not, as a baker it may not be real. As a dreamer it is real. That is why he is sweating. The same dream body is sweating, goes through all the experiences a waking body gets. Like there is a fear, there is a prayojanam, there is there are people there are mountains, there are snakes, everything is there. You ask the dreamer. Dreamer does not say it is something like a movie. He says it's very real. That is why he is sweating. So you cannot say that dreamer is not real. After waking up, you say. That's what I am also saying. Prabodha Samaye. Once you wake up to this reality, your waking also is like dream only. That is why Dakshinamurti Stotram says. Prabodha Samaye. Once you wake up to the reality understanding, your waking also is like a dream. Like even as a waker, you say, dream is the dream. It is temporary. Your waking is also equally temporary. So only the period of duration is longer. That's all. That is why Mandukya and Avasthatira Prakya makes it waking and sleep are one and the same. Waking and dream are one and the same. This is the reality tells us what is waking is falsified in dream. What is in dream falsified by waking. So both are Anitya. Anitya means Nitya, coming and going. Whereas you are real in both, all the three. What is that reality? That is Chaitanya. That is what the whole Shastra is all. Vidya is all about. You and Ishvara's reality are one and the same. Everything else is changing. So Ishvara knows that, we don't know it. And Ishvara being the Samashti Upadi, like what is being described in the Shastra here, he seems to have a command on the connections, on the order of orders, physical order and chemical order, everything. There seems to be a niyati that is controlling, because it's the Samashti Upadi, he is available all the Upadis. Like Antaryami, you, me, everywhere, even plant, animal, everywhere he is there as Antaryami. So he is able to command and control the order of orders. So it's called Samashti Upadi. Okay, whereas an individual, even though you understand this whole thing is changing and Mithya and all that, you cannot in detail know about the Kshetra that is other than your body, because your faculty of Buddhi cannot comprehend. That's all. That is the problem of the Buddhi, not of you, the Atma. As Atma, you are also equally Purna like Bhagavan. But as Buddhi, you are only in Vrishti Buddhi and Samashti Buddhi. He has got Samashti Buddhi and there is no he there, he or she. Just for language we are saying. It is a combination. Combination is not sum total. It is sum total is not sum total, it is something anadi. That is where they say that Bhagavan's only one amsha is this earth and order of orders. The other things are all unmanifest. So to understand, this is a prashamsa. Prashamsa meaning you don't try to fathom what is the samashti and all that. It's only for understanding, okay, this is how the world order is. For us to understand, this is being explained. But reality is, Desa Kala Vastu Aparichinam, immeasurable. timeless, spaceless being, not even an object. Cannot be objectified. Need not be objectified. Why? Because it is you. I don't need to be objectified for me to, by even Shastra, tell me I exist. I know I exist. So that is how it is. Yeah.
We have no freedom to decide whether we should wake up or not. We wake up from sleep,
No.
driven by
Before the creation.
Para beginning. Before
At
the
the beginning,
creation.
before the creation, everything was unmanifest.
சாந்தோக்கிய
Yeah.
உபநிஷத்தோட முடிச்சுக்கோ.
எனக்கு அது இல்லையே இது இப்படிதான் வீக்கெண்ட் அங்கதான் நான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ணேன் இல்லையா
Before the
Yeah.
creation.
Before the
சாந்தோக்கிய
creation,
சாந்தோக்கிய
everything was
உபநிஷத்.
unmanifest, abhyakrita. For the creation to manifest itself, there
That
should be a starting point. And that starting point is this sankalpa.
It is due to this samashti
காணம் இது
Yeah.
Chandokya, the 35 footnote. Chandokya Upanishad.
okay.
Okay, that is
After
completed.
that I started with this. It is
Yeah,
said
started. Yeah.
okay. It is said first there was a that I already read. Okay, anyway, it is said first there was the sankalpa. That's what you are telling them. On the part of Ishvara, so kamayata bahusyam
No, if we start before.
prajayeya. He decided, let me become many. Then he brought to his attention all the knowledge that is required for this creation. So, satapo tapyata. Then, after bringing the knowledge to his attention, created all. Anything wrong?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Created all these. Satapas tapva idam sarvam asrijata. This same sankalpa of Ishvara is said as tadikshata and
That's Aikshata in the Chandogya.
Tadikshata and Chandogya Upanishad. So I already read Swamiji.
Yeah. Read.
I already read it, that's why.
Okay.
I marked also. Wherever I stopped, I mark.
Okay. Yeah. Carry on.
Okay. Before the creation, everything was unmanifest. Abhyakrita. Abhyakrita. For the creation to manifest itself, there should be a starting point. And that starting point is this sankalpa, which is due to this samashti buddhi. This there you have corrected me, na? Samashti
Yes.
buddhi.
Yeah.
The question that arises here is, why should it all start? It should have remained so. That is, as abhyakrita, unmanifest. Then this manifest world, as we see it, would have not been there. And all the problems of this world and the individual jiva would have not been there. There is the answer to this question. That is how things are. We cannot ask Ishvara as to why he woke up from his sleep. Nirvikalpa samadhi. Nirvikalpa avastha. In which the creation was unmanifested. Why talk about Ishvara? We can never say why we wake up from our sleep on any given day. We have no freedom to decide whether we should wake up or not. We wake up from sleep driven by the karma phala that ought to be enjoyed by us on that day. Similarly, the samasti karma phala of all the jivas that are waiting for fulfillment make Ishvara wake up from his sleep and make his sankalpa. How does this thought arise? It may be because Ishvara, being Sarvajna, may decide that the time has come for the creation to manifest, or a thought may just arise.
Yeah.
To manifest or the thought that may arise.
We'll stop here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Next week we'll start.
We'll
Okay.
start from
What's that?
we have to start from the thought that arises is that
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very good thing to think of. What makes us get up from our sleep? The same way makes us get up from Bhagavan to create this world. Like we have got
The sankalpa.
Bhagavan wants lot of things to be done through us next day morning. That is why he wakes you up. We think that I am making up. You are in total no control, but still you think that you are. That is the problem. That is from there our ignorance starts. From the early morning, you are just aware of the being. Everything else takes over because of the Sankalpa of Ishvara. If we are very aware of this, and then we will look at everything as Ishvara Krit. So Ishvara Arpana Buddhi will automatically dawn on us. That is why morning prayers are very important. In our culture at least, every day morning we say some prayer. Every one of us will say some prayer or something. Because even in the language there is some next early and day morning, early and day night. When you go to sleep, you will see tomorrow you cannot say in the house. You have to say by God's grace we are
Alive.
there you will see we'll talk tomorrow morning. Like that. That's a beauty that is there in the culture. But we have lost all that because we think that I am Shashwata. The problem. Om
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्